What time did you get back?
I got back like 11.
Last night?
Yeah, no. This morning.
This morning.
We stayed. We didn't leave Oakmont until 11 last night.
Gotcha.
You want me to hold it?
You don't mind, but
Yeah.
I can't do it with my arm that way.
Yeah, I can hold it. Yeah.
Where am I looking?
Hey,
I guess
When-
whoever's talking to you, maybe.
Okay. Who's going first?
I'll start.
go ahead, Audrey.
Yeah. So one thing before we get into the actual performance side of it, one thing watching it right away, the broadcast was, I know the majority of the team was there watching him. So when they kind of, rushed him in that, pylon in a sense, what was that experience like to see that, just the support, the overwhelming support from his teammates?
Yeah, it was really special. I thought about Bruce and Mary Fossum and how the programs operate as one. All of them drove out yesterday morning, and it's a lot for a young college kid to get in their car and go 5 hours to watch a buddy. That was really the neat moment for me. I was off to the side crying at that point. Just watch them kind of a mosh pit on the 17th green at Oakmont. Who would ever pictured that?
Has he cried, or did he cry with you at all? Because on TV, he's very calm and collected kid and doesn't really show emotions too much. But when you guys were together, did he have some tears?
I don't know if he ever cried. But when he was looking at the trophy, the coolest thing they do is the USGA has like a private dinner for the family, and he invited Dan and I to be a part of it. And we were looking at the trophy, Bobby Jones, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus. It was hitting him at that point. Like, his name's going to be on the wall at Oakmont, one of the greatest clubs in the world for the rest of its history. Right underneath Bobby Jones and Byron Nelson and Sam Snead. So that hit him a little bit.
I want to get to something you said earlier on the phone. You called it, I thought, one of the great moments of your life.
It was, this is why you get into business, right? You get into coaching to watch young people live their dreams. And maybe even I didn't dream that something that big would happen, but he did, obviously, and he was ready for his moment. They work their whole lives, they grind when no one's watching, and in the biggest moment of his life, he seized an opportunity that was incredible. It's historic on so many levels.
I'm sure you've been answering 1,000 texts and questions since yesterday, but
happy to.
Very simple one. How did he do this?
I'd like to answer that question, but I don't know if I could. He texted Dan, or he told Dan when they got out there, he thought he could win the golf tournament. And I told Dan, I was here in East Lansing, I told Dan, when it's getting serious, let me know. And he called Thursday night, like 7, 8 o'clock. I was worried about my basement flooding. My mind was in a different place. And he said, you got to get in the car because we're going to win. And I drove right out there. So something happened internally where he decided that it was his time.
Was it emotional for you?
Oh. The last hole and a half, I did pretty well until about hole 32. Because the first few days I was there, he was so calm and so collected. It just looked like he was going to win every match. Once he started to make that charge at the end and he hit the shot on 16, I was breathing very, very heavily.
I heard that you got a text from Izzo saying that this is a golf school now.
No, it was just a conversation, but yeah, no, we were joking there. He was a part of this too. He called and checked in. As I was walking to the first tee for the last 18 holes, I was on the phone with him. That's what this place is about. Everybody embracing everybody, and our spiritual and emotional leader in Tom Izzo was locked in as a golf fan. It's not really a golf school, but we'll take it for a couple days.
James kind of has a knack for coming back in these tournaments. He did that to reach the NCAA championships and then again here. So what is it about his personality, his resolve that makes him kind of lock in even when it gets dire?
I've been using the analogy, he's been climbing like a sand dune, a sand hill. Like his whole career, he's just been trying to get there, and he'd fall back down, and he'd get upset, and he'd fall back down and get upset, and he just kept working. That experience over time hardens you, right? So the worst thing was going to happen, he'd have another setback, and he'd come back today and start practicing again. So I think at some point he just said, you know what, either going to win or I'm not, but I'm going to keep fighting. Yeah. And every match coming down the stretch, he was just tough as nails.
I know you were counting on him coming back, and he's exercising the extra year, but with all that has happened and what it can lead to for him, is there any risk that he would change his mind about that?
I don't think so, no. I mean, he's got to stay an amateur till April, right, to play in the Masters. So we'll help him prep there. We'll take practice trips to Augusta. This is another year with our brand new facility to train to get ready for tour life. So he works hard in school and is going to get a great business degree for his mother, and I'm sure she's not going to let him change his mind on that one. And he wants to be with his teammates and win a Big Ten championship before he goes.
Was there anything else that maybe the broadcast would not have shown that you saw that you'll never forget?
Yeah, I mean the hours afterwards when it was just the family and he was signing. When you win a USGA championship, you have to sign your name about 400 times to flags and mementos and things that they give to corporate sponsors and members. And he just sat there signing for hours, and the look of contentment is something I'll probably never get over. Yeah. And every question, we had an Instagram live going, and he was answering every question, and he was having fun. Those are the moments I'll remember more than anything.
Yeah. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks for doing this.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Coach, I just had one more question.
Yeah, you're welcome, Fred.
You said when we talked back in June about James after he finished NCAAs, you said biggest improvement for him was between the ears, especially while he's putting.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, obviously he showed great mental fortitude. What do you think the biggest change was over the past 2 months? Kind of led to that.
He found this really, really old, kind of pathetic putter, and it was just magic, right? So it was just, this kid who always carries a chip on his shoulder now has got a $17 garage sale putter as opposed to these $700 putters they're all using. It was just like one more thing, like he's going to do it his way. And at some point he realized his way was good enough. Right, he didn't have to be somebody he wasn't. He just wanted to be James Pyatt, a little kid from Canton, never had a private club membership and was just going to keep grinding. And somewhere that clicked, especially at the Western Am when he got to the final 16, like that he was going to do this now. He's living life James Pyatt's way. And then when you do that on the golf course and off the golf course, you're a happy soul.
All right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.